You either love them or you hate them. Anime characters reach both spectrums, and everyone has a favorite to root for and another to root against. Thankfully for us anime fans, the character catalog is so large and expansive. Some of these anime characters are big and strong, while others literally couldn't hurt a fly if they tried. Today we'll take a look at both the strongest and weakest anime characters of all time. Vegeta, Dragon Ball's Prince of all Saiyans, is often second fiddle to Goku, but Vegeta has been right on his tail from the very beginning. From destroying planets with Nappa to taking down androids and taking on gods, Vegeta hasn't let becoming the strongest warrior in the universe out of his sights. It's driven him to achieve Super Saiyan levels. The yellow hair and orange outfit are iconic to anime, but there's something about the way Vegeta appears in his blue gear. If Goku is ever out of play, we know exactly who to call when bad guys come. And here's a hint, he's a bad boy. He is here! Toshi Nori was known for using the one-for-all quirk to become Japan's strongest hero, known as All Might. We can't get enough of him. Clad in an America-themed outfit with America-themed techniques to match, All Might's counted on to help the student heroes of My Hero Academia reach new levels. He even takes 2 students under his personal wing. Although Midoriya becomes the new owner of the powerful quirk, Toshi Nori's wisdom is still useful for the fostering of future heroes. It'll be hard for someone else to pull off the United States of Smash, though. We hope you're not hungry, because the feeling's definitely going to get worse with our next entry. In a world where people fight to become the best chef with the best ingredients, Toriko steps in the ring, with food and with fists. Already incredibly strong, Toriko also possesses appetite demons that help him in his battles. Although, without them, he's pretty ruthless and carries a highly destructive power. Part of that can be attributed to the way he attacks and devours food. With more training, he could be one of the strongest fighters ever, but for now we'll be happy with his full course menu. There's a few youngsters here, and our first is Shigeo Kageyama, aka Mob from Mob Psycho 100. Mob is a 14-year-old student, but as you may guess from the title, he's also a powerful psychic. Mob's power reminds us of the power of humanity, which gets stronger as he feels a certain emotion. When that feeling reaches 100%, he explodes and unleashes that power. He can sense other energies, as well as absorb some energy for storage and personal use. He's also telekinetic, and can even control plants. Although he's a newcomer, Mob has great potential within the world of anime. He may look like a purple Sphinx cat, but he's much more than that. He's Beerus, the god of destruction. We first meet Beerus in the Dragon Ball movie, Battle of Gods, where we see him take on both Goku and Vegeta. They both fail to measure up to the god's immense power. He's since appeared in the series, facilitating universe tournaments and representing the universe he's from. He's so powerful, only a handful of beings are shown to be stronger. He even had Shenron cowering in fear at his existence, although you'd most likely catch him taking a cat nap. He was one of the last survivors of the Uchiha clan, and is one of the fan favorites of the Naruto series. When we think of moody, powerful, semi-stylish ninjas, we can't help but think of Sasuke Uchiha. Already at the top of his class in terms of basic and advanced ninja training, Sasuke reaches the level of powerful ninja thanks to a family eye technique known as the Sharingan, a technique used to copy moves, enhance battle prowess, and see through illusions. It can even be enhanced further to become more powerful. Sasuke's not afraid of anyone, not even his brother or best friend. Not many people can put someone as powerful as a god of destruction in check, not even, say, the main character of a popular anime franchise. But sometimes, the answer is your right-hand man, and that is Wiese, the angelic attendant to the god of destruction. While Beerus holds the title of god of destruction, Wiese is shown to be much stronger. He's trained Beerus and often keeps him in check. In Dragon Ball Super, he even teaches Goku and Vegeta how to use the Ultra Instinct technique, for them to unleash during the upcoming tournament. We guess being the martial arts teacher of the god of destruction doesn't pay well enough for Wiese. He ended up being one of the strongest beings in another universe and went toe-to-toe with Goku during the Tournament of Power. He's the powerful alien, Jiren. We met Jiren in Dragon Ball Super during the battle between the universes, and he gave our heroes a legitimate scare. He was immensely powerful without even relying on a Super Saiyan form. Jiren fights with a strong sense and code of honor. He also doesn't speak as much as some other heroes we mentioned earlier on this list, but that doesn't take away from his sheer destructive force. He definitely deserves a spot here. He's a true rags-to-riches example of a great and powerful ninja. Next up on our list is Naruto Uzumaki, the #1 hyperactive knucklehead ninja. Naruto is a ninja who's capable of extraordinary feats, such as the Shadow Clone Jutsu. The technique creates real clones that copy the user's commands. He's also famously used the Rasengan, a move that takes your energy force to create a powerful spinning energy ball. There's also his connection to the inner demon fox inside of him that grants him a near-endless supply of energy. He's definitely one of the strongest ninjas around, and you can believe that. In a time where superheroes seem to be everywhere in pop culture, the dream of being the strongest hero is one many have. But only a few seem to achieve that feat, and it turns out to be pretty boring. That is what the next person on our list thinks. And we're talking about the caped baldy himself, Saitama, the One Punch Man. There's currently no known way to measure Saitama's power. It's sort of a punchline, but if you want to also have that power, apparently you just have to do 100 push-ups, sit-ups, and squats each day, along with a 10-kilometer run. If your hair falls out too, then congratulations, you're as strong as One Punch Man. One day, you're living your normal teenage life, going to school and seeing ghosts, like the usual. The next, you're a substitute Soul Reaper for the society hunting down hollows. This is the life of Ichigo Kurosaka from Bleach. As a Soul Reaper, Ichigo has access to spirit energy attacks, enhanced physicality, and a sword called Zanpakuto. Each Zanpakuto has 2 layers of attacks, and Ichigo also has access to hollow attacks. He manifests a skeletal mask alongside a host of other hollow abilities. After training, Ichigo becomes one of the most powerful characters in all of anime, even if he's essentially a Ghostbuster. You know him, you love him, you definitely can't out-eat him. He inspired the costumes of some of the other entries on this list. He's everyone's favorite Super Saiyan hope of the universe, Goku. Combining martial arts techniques with his Saiyan physique, Goku has become one of the most powerful beings in the universe. He's incredibly powerful, can fly, and can even shoot multiple types of energy blasts. He's trained with martial arts masters, gods, aliens, and extraterrestrial equipment. He also loves increasing his power level so he can take on stronger opponents. If you think he's strong now, we can't wait to see where he's going. We've already mentioned the Gods of Destruction along with the stronger teacher of said Gods of Destruction, but even in the Dragon Ball universe, there's a grand ruler over everything, and that is the Blue Zeno. Zeno is the Omni King, aka the ruler of anything and everything. All of the universes in Dragon Ball fall under Zeno's rule. Beerus and Champa cower at his power. Zeno can easily create and destroy universes, which is the deadly concept behind the Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super. But thankfully, Zeno isn't a malevolent Omni King. That would have put a huge damper on his first ever meeting with Goku. Now, let's get the weakest characters on our list, starting with Mr. Satan from Dragon Ball Z. He may be called Mr. Satan, but that's an insult in terms of power. If you need a human, even Yamcha is a better option here. Mr. Satan has a little bit of clout as a human, but he's definitely a coward when facing fighters with the strength of Goku or Vegeta. His daughter could easily defeat him, and that was before she started training with the Saiyans. But even with all of his weaknesses, he ends up with all the credit for defeating strong enemies. What a poser. Some believe to truly be a superhero, you need superpowers. Some believe you need a cool costume. For one hero, all he needed was a bicycle. That hero is Moomin Rider, the guy with the bike from the One Punch Man series. His heart is in the right place, but he truly does not belong in the battlefield. He can't fight for real, nor can he go without wrecking his bike. He doesn't even have muscles or good eyesight. He literally just has a bike and a helmet. However, he's still a great hero to rally behind, even if he doesn't really do much of anything. Sometimes you're a spirit that's inside of a piece of candy, while other times you're stuck in the body of a teddy bear. This is the truth about Kohn, the walking, talking bear that deals with Ichigo in Bleach. Although he can be a real wise guy, he can't really back a lot of what he says up, because he's literally stuck in a teddy bear's body. He's been that way since Ichigo returns to his body, so he typically just hangs around and bounces from supporting character to supporting character. But if he ever gets a solid body again, the revenge is going to be major. The game of Duel Masters is serious business, and we've seen how high the stakes can get. We've seen battles for souls, which is the battleground for top duelists like Yugi Muto, but not for his friends like Tristan. A good friend for sure, Tristan is your average Duel Monsters player. He doesn't take himself seriously like the other characters. He just takes interest in his friend Joey's younger sister, Serenity. His Duel Monsters deck doesn't contain any strong monsters like Dark Magician or a Blue Eyes White Dragon. He just has some Commando-themed cards, but it doesn't matter. Tristan's Goku's power isn't his deck, it's his friendship. World domination is a goal for a lot of villains, and rarely do any ever have the power to make it happen. But for the next character on the list, he's had the opportunity multiple times, and squandered it away. It's Emperor Pilaf from the Dragon Ball franchise. He's not very intimidating, he's just ugly. At one point, he ruled over the Mushroom Forest, but now he and his subjects Shu and Mai just travel around failing at their schemes. Although he did succeed in turning the powerful Goku into a child again, but that one success is no longer canon since it was GT, so take that, Emperor Pilaf. Up next on our list is the young Sakura Haruno from Naruto. We might get a lot of heat for this one, but we're specifically talking about her before the jump into Part 2. She was originally set up to be a Genjutsu user in the series, but that concept was let go. So while most other characters covered the fundamental ninja aspects, she didn't get a lot of useful field time. Oftentimes, the bulk of the story went either towards Naruto or Sasuke. Fortunately, after the time skip, Sakura becomes an absolute badass. Nobody doubts her skills or strength once she starts kicking butt and taking names. Card games and tabletop games alike take a lot of skill to master, but there are some players who take to underhanded methods to try to be the best. That perfectly describes the duelist Weevil Underwood of Yu-Gi-Oh! Throughout the series, Weevil takes out weak duelists and uses trickery to defeat the stronger ones. At one point, he even throws the Exodia cards in his Yugi's grandfather's deck, just because he's jealous and petty. He later teams up with Rex Raptor for more schemes that fail in major ways. Weevil could have been awesome, but he's lost all of his honor. That being said, he's still just super lame. He didn't get much screen time in Dragon Ball Z because he still had a lot of training to do. In what we call Tien's Underlings Part 1, it's Chaozu. Although he posed more of a threat in the earlier Dragon Ball anime, that's because the stakes were much lower compared to Dragon Ball Z. In one of the first major arcs of Dragon Ball Z, he sacrifices himself in battle, and it turns out that it was for nothing. Fortunately, he's eventually revived, and he's been training ever since the old days when he appears in Super. Luckily, he's paired with Tien a lot, so he isn't without solid backup in a fight. Next up is the Desert Bandit himself, best friend of Puar, and one of the longest-running characters in the Dragon Ball franchise, Yamcha. Yamcha appeared in the very first arc of Dragon Ball, when he attempted to rob Bulma and Goku of their valuables, and then their Dragon Balls. Thankfully, he dropped the whole bandit act pretty quick, and became a lifelong ally to the gang. At first, Yamcha presented himself as a formidable fighter, with his famed Wolf Fang fist attack, but much like Chaozu, he's been relegated to the Peanut Gallery and Explosion Town as the series progressed into Z. He wants to be the very best, like no one ever was, but he hasn't necessarily done the best throughout his journey to becoming a Pokemon master. Ash Ketchum and his questionable trainer choices make our weakest character side of the list. Ash is a 10-year-old child who doesn't quite understand the world yet. He also continues to befriend stronger Pokemon without catching one of them, and has even thrown away many strong Pokemon because of not being friends with them first. Not a great trainer technique. He could have won a tournament a lot earlier if he made smarter choices, but we still love you, Ash. Being a superhero is hard work, and being a teenager is as well, so we get that the deck is stacked against Midoriya, but his rate of improvement needs to drastically improve. When we first meet Midoriya in My Hero Academia, we know he's quirkless, meaning he has no superpowers. This makes him feel inferior, and his classmates already aren't necessarily a fan of him. But thankfully, he finds a mentor in the powerful All Might, as Midoriya shares the same quirk as All Might. They both can obtain a passable quirk called One for All. So things are looking up in this situation for Midoriya. We've got one more Dragon Ball character for you on the list. While he's a good fighter, he never pitches in to help the Z fighters in the ring. So Yajirobe joins the weaker side of the list. Yajirobe met Goku and the gang back in Dragon Ball and is the first swordsman we've met in that fashion. But he doesn't do a lot to help out in battle with his sword. Thankfully, he pitched in once by cutting off Great Ape Vegeta's tail. He also delivers Senzu beans for the fighters during their fierce confrontations, but Yajirobe's definitely no Mr. Satan. To wrap up our list, they try to protect the world from devastation and unite all peoples within their nation, but they're typically just blasting off again. It's Jesse, James, and Meowth of the infamous Team Rocket. They've tried time and time again to use their Pokemon, Weezing and Arbok, and many traps to try and grab that Pikachu. However, they're almost always unsuccessful. They often can't think of the most basic obstacles in trying to steal Pokemon. That being said, you always kinda want to root for them. In Team Rocket, it, there are worse members to fear. So, at the end of the day, we're thankful for Team Rocket. We've seen the power levels top to bottom and can't wait for the new crop of characters to come in. Did we forget your favorite? Who's someone that deserves the spotlight? Let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more anime content. Thanks for watching.